back. I'm back from the dog walk. I turned off the Xbox and all the little apps so I don't get a copyright. It seems to always happen. I mean, it is what it is at this point. I'm not actually making money, so I'm kind of doing this. I don't know. I guess I do this kind of stuff because it keeps my mind up. I feel like I'm somewhat accomplishing something because I always wanted to kind of have a fun venue in my life, and I guess this is the fun venue. But I don't know. I was thinking of like all the different problems that you hear in the world and stuff, and wouldn't it be nice if we had a renaissance where people kind of came together? I mean, I think it would be an awesome idea, and I think it would replenish. Oh, I'm trying to get my pillow situated. I'm a pillow person. I love my pillows. I love them. I think I have one too many pillows in my life. I really do. I believe I have a lot of too many pillows. But I do have the tarot cards right here. But I was thinking, like in the Victorian age, where it was in every kind of age of Renaissance, how people got nicer and people just were happier. And maybe there's a way of having another Renaissance, I guess you could say. They had some great oil painters coming from the Renaissance. I mean, every ruler that's ruled within the Renaissance and try to bring forth the age of Renaissance, there always was happiness that came. I wish there would be an age of Renaissance that would come upon us. I think that would be interesting. And then people wouldn't focus so much on all of this crazy stuff going on. And there is a lot of crazy stuff. Everybody gets super angry, and the first thing they want to do is blow each other up. I mean, and for what? Over paper? I mean, money is paper. I mean, when it comes down to everything in the world, money is literally only paper. And that's the thing. People just get so obsessed over one thing. And they don't realize that we're in, I believe this is the Dark Ages, I would like to call this. Everybody's kind of lost. We don't have a renaissance that has come forth in a long time. In the 80s, we had sort of a renaissance, sort of. And then it got super strict again. The thing is there's always going to be bad things, but people make it impossible to do good things too. And if we don't have a surplus of things that give hope and kind of make people happy, we're really not going to get far in society. I mean, I wish there was something that would come along to come across or just come across a great renaissance. To me, I think that would be just really awesome. But will it happen? I don't know. But it would be a good idea. You know, and it's a free idea. If anybody wants to take up on the offer and try to start a renaissance, that would be awesome. Because it would only benefit billions of people. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff where people are just harboring resentment all around the world. And there's people very paranoid all around the world. That's why you have all these people spying on you because the paranoia is high. And you have all these paranoid people, and maybe if they had some kind of art outlet of some sort, like I like to do knitting, I do like to do my little embroideries too. Pretty good at that. Pretty good at that, I would say. But given to that point, I think a renaissance would suit us all nice. Because honestly, everybody wakes up, it seems, unhappy. And why? Because no one's doing anything they like. Because there's so much chaos going on. We have too much chaos, and people can't be free to like things and do things that make them happy. They're going to do things that don't make them happy. And really, like I said, it's kind of goes like if things people like are things that people are talented with. Like certain people are talented cooking, some are good with writing, some are good with music. And it seems like there's just a shortage of artistic people in the world. And it's just a friendly observation. I mean, I think if art and things like that were able to flourish a little bit more, it would give people hope and give them something to do rather than hate. I mean, how many people probably would like to play instrument but can't afford an instrument? You know, if we had just kind of things like that kind of went around the world, maybe it could make a difference. But it would have to be in a global thing, and then you'd have to get enough people to agree. This is the hard thing. Getting anyone to agree on one point is the hardest thing in the world to do. And this includes good and bad. In good and bad, there's always the opposite. You have the dark, you have the light. You have the good side of the coin, the bad side of the coin, the heads, the tails. And when you're going back and forth from heads to tails, all that really matters in the end is did the result, was it beneficial? And this result of everybody being paranoid all the time, and it is true that there's a lot going on, but if there could be some more unified efforts for art and things, maybe it'd bring hope to some kids. I don't know. It's just some of my random thoughts that I think about because I kind of miss the way the world used to be when things were more artistic and things were just less chaotic and there was less drugs in them. I mean, I don't know how we could crawl out of this whole issue with the drugs. I don't have any clue. I mean, just to get to the Renaissance, we would have to do something about the drug problem because you can't have people doing oil paintings high on methamphetamines and things. That would be not beneficial. So whatever's going on with that, I guess we have to. I guess they're doing what they can to get that under wraps. However, that's going, but it's sad that it has to take a full military thing just to try to get things back to where it should be, where people can play outside. I mean, you can't let your kids even go in the front yard anymore. It's really horrible. I used to remember there was a time I didn't really like it. can remember that. And yeah, there was like where people always kind of abuse dogs here and there, but it's not like it is now. People are getting abused more, animals are getting abused more. It just seems there's a lot of surplus of bad things going on in the world, but there's not enough good things to even it out. I mean, religion helps even out everything. It really does. But it has to be more than religion. I mean, in the 60s, you had Woodstock, you had all that good stuff that kind of added positivity. I don't, I don't know if we could have all that. But you were coming up to Vietnam War, too, so that was the end result was everybody singing about bringing peace because we're at war. So I don't know if we have to have another war to get peace. I'm really hoping that this is not the cycle because a lot of people would have to die. A lot of people's lives would get disrupted and there would be a lot of more bad things going on in the world. And I'm not sure if that would be beneficial to anybody, honestly. But I really do think about these things. I think of these on a calculated, big scale because that's just the way I think. Because it bothers me because I appreciate life and animals and things on the planet in general. And I don't understand why some people are so mean. I guess it just comes down to why people are so mean. Why it has to get to the point where it's just outright violence and destruction for something that's out of people's control. And I guess it's a sad part of war. I mean, every day when they draft people, it's always the military wants your first born son, and the military did get my firstborn son. He did not die in battle, thank goodness, but he could have. But the fact remains that they still wanted my firstborn child, and because I had two boys, if there was a draft, they would have took one. And that kind of reminds me of the plagues in the Bible when they were saying that we're the one king. He of Egypt, he wanted all the firstborn sons, and they hid Moses. I think it was Moses. It's hard to think. I smoke a bowl, but even down to those times, and it seems like we're reliving them, and everyone acts like this is a normal consequence. I mean, I think people should have to know why they fight and want to fight for that reason. Because if you make people fight for stuff they don't believe in, sometimes that doesn't work out well in the end. It has to be a cause people are willing to die for. And sometimes I think they give and they don't take. They take, but they don't give. And this is half the problem. I mean, it's kind of what governments do. And I guess if you had a happy government, it could work out. But I just don't like the fact that they demand firstborn children, and there's a lot of demands. It doesn't seem like sometimes there's a lot of free will. And I feel that's in violation of so many universal rights. And I don't like the fact that everybody just accepts this for normal practice. I mean, I never go up to people, oh, I want your firstborn child, I want this, I want that, I want that. That's kind of controlling and greedy if you think about it. And who would want that in their life? In our love life, we want one thing, but in our everyday life, there's just forces that control us, and it's weird. Sometimes, like karma, circles just run in different ways, and it's very interesting how it happens. Oh my god! And I'm trying to get a good camera direction. This is what I get in my life. Okay, there we go. Oh my god! Now I'm laying on my sweater. All right. Hey. Okay. I try to make an effort to look decent. I usually wear scrubs. So I was told when you're not at work, you're supposed to look nice if you're going out or something. So I figured this is like my going out, though I'm not going out. It's going out without going out. And really, that's what it is. Okay. Alright. There we go. But like I said, the world's a very fickle place. I've had my little fights with when Brandon was in the Navy, my oldest. I've had my little disagreements with the people that said they owned him. I've actually got in a fight with a couple of the people when I drove all the way out for a ceremony. I just never met a bunch of people. Oh, hi, how are you? Did you want to ask a question or talk? Sometimes I gotta wait a half hour. I must be getting more popular. I try. Okay, I got my cards. I just, I really like knitting. I don't know why. I'm just getting obsessed with knitting these days. Oh, I think everybody's getting pot holders. All my friends are getting pot holder sets for their kitchen. I think that's what I'm gonna start working on these days. You guys got a way more exciting life than me. You really do. What thoughts and feelings does my crush Madison have for me? Alright, well, let's, I guess before we ask that question, the more important question, I guess, would be to ask would be what's Madison's circumstance and love related issues since you're not mated with her or anything. And I'm not trying to compare you to the animal kingdom, but a full mating, there's a different kind of energy with a full mating. So her circumstance, we're going to put this would be her, and I'll just start making my own little ducks since I can. And then there's her love life, and then this one will be a decision. Right now, the cards are telling me about Mason. 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 Okay, I don't know why I said Madison. I even got a new pair of glasses here. Madison. Okay, I'm sorry. At least it's getting a little birth there. It says my birthday in November 14th. And was okay. And what's too comfortable, please. Alright, well, let me finish up this before we go to that. Your crush, she's in a part of her life, or he's in a part of life, I'm sorry, Mason. I don't know why I keep thinking Madison, because from right here it looks like a D. But Mason has adjustments in his life. He got a third quarter moon, and he's got to work on what he really wants to do in his life for his own personal happiness. And right now, he's in a situation, and this is financial, where he needs money, but he's not sure of if he wants to do something because he thinks it's beneath him. And then he got the supermoon for the whole how he's gonna what's how this whole situation is gonna blow up, and he got the supermoon. So I think if I was you, I would kind of just let your crush just kind of, I guess, chill and just kind of get through whatever he's getting through. Because I feel if you're with him, I get the distinct feeling if you're with him through being screwed over, I guess, as they say, I feel this would be a good time to bond, honestly. So let me get to the second question here. Alright, you want to know what's coming life to life for you? Alex. Okay. Alright. Okay. My birthday is okay, well, Mason, I hope I answered your question, but Mason, I know you're here, and I'm going to do your reading of what's here. I'm going to get a card that represents you, that what's coming in for love for you. You're very excited about this love. I guess love could be exciting, but it can rip your heart out all the same. Alright, alright, I got the card that represents you, and over here, and your situation, and then your future love here. The one that represents you, you got New Moon in Gemini, and this is where it's a period where it's not bad. It's just your connections are off right now, and you kind of gotta make your way out to the world and find your own way. And then the gravity of your situation is that you have a lot of prosperity ahead. And the reason you don't have the love right now is because you got to get towards the prosperity. Yeah, you got prosperity ahead, and I believe this has to do financially to put yourself where you want to be in the world and make yourself happy. And you're gonna come in. I'm not saying you're gonna be a millionaire, but you're gonna be more comfortable, and you're gonna be happy. And then for after your situation and gets through, you got a waxing moon, which it brings new beginnings, and that's where all the energy turns from bad to good. So I think when you get through whatever you need to get through, and you're more stable, it's just gonna come through. So, I mean, my suggestion would be maybe just try to get a hobby. Maybe like I did, I got a dog. I mean, there's a lot of dogs that need good people. And I'm not saying that because I'm a dog person and I'm always trying to promote dogs and stuff, but it doesn't have to be a dog. Maybe just get something that makes you happy. If you like to paint, paint. Do something. Do something with the new Renaissance. I mean, if we like it or not, we're in a new Renaissance with this movement past. I don't know what the future is for us of mankind, but I feel it's been replenished. I really do. Oh, you're welcome. And I'm glad you talked to me in the stream. I'm starting to get used to stuff like this. But I think that's all the questions. Well, I'm going to put my cards down. If anybody else wants any more questions, let me know and I'll continue this. Since this is the only thing that doesn't get me copyrighted. It is so easy to get a copyright. So easy. I was so close to making money on Facebook, but just because I was making reels with my Snapchat videos, which are private, somehow I got hit with it. They find something wrong with everything I do in my life. I have never, Facebook, for some reason, they're nice to me. They gave me a check mark that I earned after an entire year. Oh, hi, how are you? You have a question? But yeah, this check mark, they gave me my check mark. I earned it over there, and every little infraction, they're like the FBI. So now I have to tape everything personally from my phone and then make reels. Because they keep talking about this watermark. So, and I really don't want to give them up. Love reading. Okay. These are very popular, these love readings. You guys must be in the Renaissance already. Maybe there is a Renaissance going on and I didn't realize it. I mean, I see all the awful things in the world and I don't see this Renaissance, but maybe it's here. But lay me down your question. I got the moon cards. Because there's all kinds of questions on love. Love is such a complex subject. It's the one thing that binds us as human beings and breaks us at the same time. Love, well, I'm taking care of somebody and she's hospice and they hold on to their last dying breath waiting for one loved one. Even in the end, in your life, you hold back death sometimes for love. It's such a powerful emotion. I think that people overrate it. They say hate is, but I say love is. Because when you die, love is the only thing that really matters. And you see it when people die. I guess I get the privilege of seeing things like this. But what particular question would you like in this love reading? Are you like crushing on someone? Do you want to know if you're gonna have a husband? Do you want to know if you're gonna hook up? I mean, there's a lot in the love realm. There really is. There's love, there's all kinds of love. There's infatuation love. I know you mean relationship wise, but alright, well, I'm going to put the cards down and think of the exact question you would like to know about your love life. You can find out on A and me, no contact. You can find out on A. I don't understand that question. Why would I want to find out about your love life? I mean, I'm not a stalker. I mean, are you crushing on someone? Do you like someone? I mean, that's not really a fully logical question if you think about it. I'm just saying. I mean, some people, they want to know if they're meeting their soulmate or something. That doesn't seem like a kind of question. It's an actual question. So, I don't know. I guess when it's an actual question for a reading, I will give you a reading, but that really is not a question. So, anyways, I'm going to go on about this watermark business until I get an actual suitable question here. But yeah, I thought I was making them, and I thought Snapchat was safe because I heard it was private, this and that, and I went on the other part of Snapchat too, and I just started getting followers. And the next thing I know, I was like, well, you know what, I can go over and use as a reel. I guess apparently I broke the law again. They sent me a thing that I had to put I agree. I know I can't do that, but I mean, and the rules are sometimes just too much. If I didn't have those five groups, I probably would be a little more concerned than I am. But I gotta keep my groups going, so I'm gonna be just put them on my camera, loading them up. Oh, I guess you were a troller or something. What's coming for love for me? Okay. Well, see, now that was a suitable question. Some people have a love, like, a specific love question. I mean, these are reasonable things here. All right, let me see. This one represents you. You got a waxing crescent moon, and pretty much it's a faith card. So you're supposed to keep your faith. And then for the present situation, you got the balsamic moon, which is a time for healing. So you have the things that you have to forgive before you actually get another romantic cycle. Because if you don't fully forgive, you don't get a romantic cycle, and something. I feel there was something that happened to you. And I don't like to pry too much because it's not my business, but you were going through things, and I've been through things like everybody else has been through things in life. And you'll get through it. But once you get through that whole process and you turn that energy around, then you'll do that. But I don't know, whatever this is, I don't feel whatever happened to you is money related. I think it was just somebody messing with your head and just a bad relationship in the past. In the future of your romantic adventures, after you go through your healing period, you got the full moon in Taurus, where your dreams are too high and you need a more balanced plan. So you gotta build slower. I feel you're a person that's gonna that builds too fast. So that's the situation in the circle you're in. And then we'll see which one they have but that's a hard circle to get out of. Well, the one that is coming for you is also a person that's under the balsamic moon, and they're also healing. So you're getting sent somebody that is an exceptional, and apparently this is to teach you how to forgive and heal yourself being with this person. So I guess look for the damsel in distress. There's going to be a really pretty damsel in distress coming your way. I feel this. Very handsome, sorry. So that's what I feel with that. But I guess to try to get you out of your circle of what you've been going through, I would honestly maybe just sometimes people really like this meditation thing. I don't personally. I guess my meditating is listening to rock and roll, but relax and try to do something that fulfills you. However, whatever that is. I mean, me, I like live streaming and I like to edit and I like to make videos. But if you like dogs, maybe volunteer at a dog shelter, but try to find yourself. And somehow you lost yourself. I feel you have. And this is a way this person that's coming for you has lost their self also. Sometimes when you're with these kind of people, it gives you it gives you perspective because you need people that give you perspective, and sometimes when you heal together it gives you a bond that is lasting through lifetimes, and that's not bad. That's a good thing. I've been through these kind of circles. That's why I wrote a book. And while I was writing my book and my little going through my little circles in life, I keep it occupied. You forget, and you're like, "Well, damn, this much time passed." So, okay, I don't know what's going on here. Maybe this was a troller. I don't know. It could be. But thank you, Alex, and I'm glad I was help to you. I don't know who this other person is, but I really hope that they get over their circle because bad circles that when you go through in your life and you got to learn lessons can sometimes destroy you if you go about it in a really kind of negative way, I guess. I look at it as stuff happens, and if stuff happens to you, sometimes as long as you try to see the deeper meaning in things, I feel that it turns out better for people seeing deeper meanings. When you're going through hard times, try to get your feelings out. For me, it's poetry or short stories. A lot of people back in different days, that's how they did it. The love ballads, war ballads, it's just people have been doing it for a long time, or journal writing. Most of our presidents have done that. And I believe the journals, I read somewhere like the journal of Thomas Jefferson and all our presidents and stuff like that, they keep all that. Because journals can be very good to have too. They really can. So sometimes just having one of those around is nice. And you could journal your thoughts, or you could do something like a live stream. You can live stream your thoughts over social media. If you're if you like to do that and you're good with your words. If you're good with your words, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. If you're not good with your words, you could do it through music, but I guess you would have to find the song and stuff, so you would still have to write songs, so either way you gotta get good with words. But honestly, to get good with words, you have to read. And I always, when I wanted to expand my vocabulary, this is how I did it. Find a really good book and read, just start reading. Read the paper, read magazines, just start reading like a mad person. And you will expand your language and you can have more intelligent talks with people with this practice. And you can probably eventually, if you wanted to, you can have a career in politics or the corporate world or anything else. It's all about speech giving and how you present yourself, honestly, because that's the way the world is. The world wants to see one version of you when you're at work. The world wants to see one version of you when you're doing something like this. And then when you're not on something like this or whatever, the world, you could just relax and chill. So that's another way. But I like to go on walks too, that helps. Exercise really helps a lot. It helps clear your mind, it helps with depression, and you need the exercise. When I tell the patients at work all the time, because they hate therapy, they hate it. They hate the therapy department with. They hate them. It's horrible. They threaten them sometimes. They yell at them. They're mean to them. And I don't understand why the therapy people are trying to make them walk. And they do, but honestly, that's something you could do that benefits you all the way around, even if you're getting older. And that's why sometimes it's nice to have a dog because when you get older and you have a dog, it forces you to go on walks. The dog has to go pee. So, And then that will give you exercise. It'll give you a companion, and it gives you a loyal companion. And it teaches, I believe, all dogs and pets and kids and stuff. They teach you how to love. And if you can learn how to love unconditionally, you're one step in this world that other people aren't. 'Cause there's a lot of people that just don't care about unconditional love. There really isn't. You know, and the thing is, you meet the person you're supposed to be with, and if you can't love somebody unconditionally, that's when they just poof go away. And you get this whole reality check smacked at you because the person that was supposed to be with you isn't with you because you chose another path. You chose to be so negative, you drove them away. This happens a lot. Women generally run from people that give you they're too possessive or just up to bad things. And these are not the kind of people that women will bond with. And even men. Men will not bond with women that they have no connection with. To connect with someone is to learn how to love unconditionally. And you should not just love somebody off rip. You should not. I'm telling you no. Don't do it. You don't tell someone you love them for a long while. Don't be a sucker. You get to know them, get to know their habits, maybe even be friends with them for a while. And then if they're disrespecting you in any way, shape, or fashion, get away from them. Life is so much bigger than one person in your life. Because before you know it, you're going to have a kid. And that kid is going to be one of the most important people in your life, also. So then you got that. I mean, you got a lot of things in your life to live for, and you gotta, once you're a parent, you gotta watch over your kid, and life it could get very complicated. And you gotta think of this bigger picture. Because the bigger picture always doesn't come to us the way we would like it to. It really doesn't. I want to say the bigger picture a lot of the time doesn't. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time, I'm going to say it doesn't. But we got to try. You got to try. I think of the bigger picture every single time I engage in conversation. Right before I come here on live stream, I realize that certain people are going to be trolling people, me. Certain people are going to get angry, but I'm giving free tarot readings. You love me or hate me. You're not. The bottom line is when you get on YouTube and do stuff, nobody's paying you to go on live stream. They're not. You just, it's a format. If you want to talk to somebody, you do or you don't. I mean, honestly, with me, just being a writer, I just don't see me ever singing. I do like to sing, but it kind of sounds awful because I'm tone deaf. I'm that person that would be on one of those talent shows and they would shaking their head like, why? That is what I am. So I'm okay with this because it does give me something to do in my life. I mean, it gives me a reason to dress up a little and try to do something that's different. I've heard this live streaming can be fun and it does get addicting. It really does. And I really like some of the different live streamers. I like their energy and I try to learn from different I try to learn from each live streamer because everyone has their strengths. And I think it's because I mean I knew I was not saying the most interesting conversation. So I'm trying to work on that. This is why I do like I think just because I have a gift of the mystics when it wants to come and go and likes the energy, it gives a kind of a different it gives fun to the stream. But I do it for fun. I mean I do urge you that if you are seeking like a spiritual revolution or whatever, that if you belong to a church or whatever, you should speak to somebody that's more spiritual based if you're having like a lot of issues if that's your religion you follow. Because I'm not a cult over here. I'm just a person that will give you a free tarot reading. That's it. And I do it because I do this when I gather with my friends, and they always ask for a tarot reading, and that's I do it for social stuff here. Because I really do want to get to know you guys, and I have met some good people over here. I really have. And everybody's, for the most part, is very respectful. I like respectful people. I'm not a big on I'm very big on disrespect. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it, but I know you get it here and there, but it does happen here, but not very often. Not like if you're on other forms of social media. It's just sometimes the environment. And some people do really well in other, forms of media. The church people do well a lot on Instagram. Singers do well. They really do because they kind of have their own thing going on. They own everything. So if you literally own everything, you kind of don't have to worry about anything. So, but for me, I'm just talking, but I like it. I think it's fun. I was always a Howard Stern fan. I used to, when he first came out, I watched Howard Stern all the time, and I wasn't supposed to. But Howard Stern is the shit. He really is. I mean, I was adult, obviously, when this happened, but I did let my kids watch Howard Stern. I thought he was hilarious. I loved his open mindedness. I loved how Howard Stern just brought the grunge. He really did. And I remember when I watched his movie he had made about him, and Howard Stern, just his wife, the one time he was obviously he was a talk show host. His wife, they would go from place to place as they got different jobs, and she just told him, she said, well, just be yourself. And he was like, I'm going to break a lot of FCC rules. And Howard Stern just brought it. And I like him. I believe he's still living. But Howard Stern, I always looked up to him. He went to college for pretty much live streaming. If you think about it, the old radio show host people, they were constantly. I mean, it's all live streaming essentially, but Howard Stern kind of brought it up to like this kind of. He kind of brought alive this kind of live streaming. And he got his own little shows. I think he still has a show. I gotta look. But he enjoys it. He enjoys just talking every day on his radio show, and he has a lot of money, so he can just kind of have any interview he would like to have. I mean, I think it was Sirius when Sirius came because it was more private and there was less rules. He went to Sirius and he had his own show over there, and I mean, he did really great. And it wasn't about his looks or anything. Everyone just kind of liked his free spirit. I mean, I love how he has a free spirit. Even to this day, he is. And he kept his private life separate. And I mean, they said he got a divorce, but he may not have, and just said that, and it's okay. Because he's so famous. I mean, I don't blame him if he is still married and whatever, and it's okay. Because he has beautiful children, and he's done really well for himself. I guess he's one of my idols. Would be Howard Stern. I really liked him. I looked up to him, and I used to always say, wouldn't it be nice to have a television show? And I liked Merv Griffin. That was great, Merv Griffin. He used to always interview people, and he had his own little show, and then things started changing, and then Merv Griffin went away. And a lot of different things did, but the spirit of it all didn't. So I'm not trying to be like rule breaking like Howard Stern, but I mean Howard Stern did what he thought was fun, and he liked to be part of the entertainment industry, and he wanted to be a broadcaster, and this is pretty much, if you want to be a broadcaster, this is a free broadcasting opportunity. You don't have to go to school no more. You don't have to go and get a certain degree and internships no more like you used to have to. You can just, do what I did. Just try to get different followers, and then if you get lucky, see where your broadcasting career takes you. And I think of all the stuff I've done on Facebook, I kind of like this better. 'Cause it's not like a whole bunch of work because I'm just talking. It's my own voice, and then you can relax. I mean, I would love to have music in the background, love it, but I won't because it's a role and artists do need to get paid. So this is why I did. And I mean, I like to, and I am making all my Christmas presents. So, and honestly, it's a hobby that's cheap, but it's saving me money because I'm trying to save money. Because to me, it's all about my art and getting my book out and little things, and I'm trying to save money. And a ball of yarn and two needles is fun for hours. Because you can knit literally for hours if you wanted to. And I do need to work on these little by little. Because like this, I'm going to make a black set. I'm probably going to make this into a top holder. I'm going to make this like a whole big table rug for kitchen set and have a black set. And I got this big ball of yarn for that. So I'm going to start making these. I got my little purple rug and I'm probably going to work on embroidering that probably tomorrow. I'm gonna do my last bit of embroidery with that because that's going in my resident. But I'm gonna do because I have a feeling everybody's gonna pick black or pink for these table things, and I'm probably still gonna be, even though I say I'm gonna get another job, I'm still gonna probably be there another year because it just seems like when you've been at a place for so long, they won't let you go. I've seen management come, management go. I mean, there's a lot of nurses that are leaving where I work at, and I don't like take well to change. I really don't. I don't like change. And everybody's kind of moving on, and honestly, I just kind of want to see where live streaming takes me in life because I'm doing halfway decent. I mean, I must be sparking some kind of something over here because my husband was telling me, because I mean, I didn't know if I was good at this or bad at this. And I understand I'm not good at cooking, and I would never try to have a career as a chef because the food just wouldn't be well. And my passions don't lie in food. But I do have a way of speaking, so I mean, I figured why not. And if you let things get to you, everybody just sits there and tells you everything in life crisis or something. People just have a lot of negativity going on when you have life changing things going on. And my thing is, I'm not trying to have a bunch of life changing things going on at the same time. I'm really not. And I don't feel that live streaming is too much life changing for me. So I'm just gonna continue to come over here because I want to be able to get in a groove where I could just keep going and maybe eventually get to where I have 2 hour streams because sometimes you gotta work up to these things. It really isn't the easiest thing on earth to do, especially when you're not used to doing things like this. And I'm not trying to be fake, because I'm not. That's why everything's so raw. And it's true. It's grungy and raw because this is what I am. This is as deep as what I get. I tell the truth. I'm very sympathetic, but at the same time, I tell the truth. So sometimes in these streams, it turns out good or bad for me. But I'm not going to lie to you. I will always give you a good, optimistic perspective because I believe everyone should have a good perspective in life because life's rough. You get out there, you got to get a place to stay, you got to get a job, you got to get, because you got to get money. And then you gotta worry about how you're getting places. Then you gotta worry about what you're eating, how much it costs. I mean, life is very calculating at times, and you gotta have all these what ifs together. You really do. Your chickens gotta be in a basket. They really do to be able to survive in this world. Because this world can get really bad at times. And it has got real bad for me, but I just keep my chickens together and I just move along. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't ask. I wasn't seeking out to get a live button over here. I honestly just never thought it was going to happen so down my life. I'm glad I did. Because you guys are could be a whole lot nicer than certain networks because even though I have like it set a lot for like to have like really negative comments taken out or you are restricted and all that, sometimes you don't have good conversation with people. And sometimes I don't understand the question because and then everybody expects a lot, sometimes more than you're a human can give. But I'm here. I'm here to chill and be your friend. I mean, that's what I am. I work and do my thing just like you do every day. And then I just come and I just streamed the husband. I do my outdoor streams. I am actually getting better at this. Every day I've been live streaming with Chong outside, and then I've been I'll relax, smoke a bowl on my medical marijuana, and then it's legal for me because I have my card and stuff. So, and I usually smoke like one bowl before I stream, just to kind of so I don't sound awkward and I make way more sense and I don't get nervous. It does help. And then I don't smoke a lot because I don't want to sit there and be so stoned that I look crazy either. Just enough to relax, and that's it. Because the way I look at it is I'm trying not to kill myself. I mean, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die of what I was supposed to die of, not some unexpected crap that I really wasn't meant to die of. I know I got a death day. We all do. I get it. But my death day is not for a long time, and if I do crazy stuff and get on those crazy drugs everyone's on, my death day is going to be way before my expected time. And I'm trying not to have that happen because I don't want anybody to steal my thunder. My death day is going to be the death day that's supposed to happen, not whatever day they choose. Because I feel you give up part of your free will when you get on heavy drugs. Because your free will's not there because the drug took over your free will. So if you think about it, whenever you're on a lot of drugs, you lose your free will. And that's not a good thing. Anything that takes away your free will and literally makes you act a different way isn't good for you. And you just should not do it. And it's absolutely true. Absolutely. And I do wholeheartedly do this practice in my own life. So I wouldn't tell you anything that I haven't done myself. I try to give good, constructive advice because I'm trying to be out there to give people good karma and help the good people of the world. I really am. And people that have lost their path. I guess that's my mission. Because I've lost my path a couple times in life. We all do. You're going to lose your path. You're going to have issues, and sometimes there's nobody that understands you. And I'm that person that does understand. I understand heartache. I understand when people leave you brokenhearted and in the middle of nowhere and a path leading to nowhere, and you gotta find a path leading to nowhere somewhere. And this can be very hard this seriously can be a very hard task. It's not as easy as people think. It really is not. This task can be very unnerving. So, I mean, I try to be gracious in my life, that I do. And I understand that we all have a mission to try to give what we can to help others, and I believe this is just my way of helping people find healthy paths. I guess it'll be more that helping people finding healthy paths in life, because paths are very important to follow in your life. And the right path is the path you want to be on, but it's not the path that some people migrate towards all the same. This is the issue. Some people migrate to some ugly places, and then that is absolutely true. It really is. So, I would, to me, I the, I mean, I guess to me that is why I'm here. And if I only make a difference in a couple of people's lives, that's okay. But I'm literally here to help you and be your friend. This is why I like people to subscribe, because how can you talk to your friends again if they don't subscribe and you don't hear from them again? If you want to go from a friend perspective. Because I feel if I know you and I'm on the stream a couple times, or you're on the stream and we vibe and I'm helping you out with your love life or whatnot, and it's kind of nice to see a friendly, someone that I talked to before come back, because as much as I like new people, I like repeat people, because I feel like I'm doing something right in the world when I do this, and I get another person that I go, oh yeah, I remember you. Because I do like to hear people's situations. I do. I am a very good listener. I can be, and I do like to give the best advice I can, and I like it to be impartial, because I feel if I wanted to get advice about something, I would rather be impartial than all one sided how I'm thinking of the situation. I try to give the best result, kind of like how Google does, because I feel that it's on your path what you want to do. Because some things aren't wrong, it's just going about it a different way, but it's the same result. And it's not hurting nobody, and it's all in the willing, so that's all that really matters in the world. But you gotta find out what makes you happy and where you stand in your own existence at times. I mean, where I stand in my life, I'm not the person that you're probably gonna go to prom with or go to a party with. But I may be the person you talk to when you're depressed because someone left you or your dog died or something, that no one else understands. There's not a lot of people that understand about that. I am very good about understanding about that. I dealt with death so much in my life, and I have died in my life in the hospital because I was real sick and I got that thing that was in me, and for them to get that parasite out, they had to do a lot, and it almost took me out. I mean, I came back stronger, so obviously it was not my time to die. Every time you come back from an illness or whatever when you've been sick, it wasn't your time. That's the medicine and all that works when it's your time. When it's not your time, the medicine miraculously gives you a new clean slate of life because it wasn't your time. I mean, it's just simple as that. Because it really is. It's life is very simple. It's simplistic, and if you read too much into life, you'll get confused and you'll have all kinds of racing thoughts. You gotta think of things simplistically, and then things won't bother you. If you think of a relationship in real simple, formal things, you always come out on top because you're the one thinking simplistic. So when problems go down, you see the problem and you know the ultimate choice is live with the problem or leave. And that's basically what life is. I mean, it doesn't even have to be love related. It could be job related, it could be anything. But if you're not meant to be in this situation, you just have to leave. And to leave a situation sometimes takes more effort and strength than to stay. And that's the God honest truth. It really is. People don't think this, but it really is the God's honest truth. So, it is, I mean, this I believe is my truth, but maybe someone else got other truths out there. I don't know. I'm always open for debate. I love hearing about people's issues. I like to hear about, maybe a certain situation or something happened in your life. Maybe I can give you some just friend advice. I don't mind. I really don't. Because life can be horrible. And it's nice to have a friend to listen to through problems with. It really is. Because if you don't have someone to help you while you got your problems going on in the world, life can get very lonely. And not everybody's, you're not going to have your love of your life with you all through your life. It's just impossible. Oh, God. I'm on my 5 day work streak. This is why I am live streaming through the dog walk and then live streaming when I get home. And I'm trying to make an effort because Chong's actually, if I stream with him earlier, we go out for that second pee and I can do a Snapchat or something. But evidently, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a Snapchat and share it over here. But I still feel I should do Snapchat once in a while. And I just can't give it to Facebook, I guess. So, I don't know. But see what I mean? I got drama and I don't really do a lot. To have drama, and I still have it. Drama follows us all. I think if you don't have drama, you're dead. And maybe that's why the dead like to watch us, because they have no drama. I think they miss the drama. That's why they watch us so much. This is just my one opinion about them. I respect them, yes. We all should respect that because they're bored and they're watching us. They're always watching us. And if you didn't do anything to wrong them, they just literally watch you sometimes. This is what they do. Because some didn't pass over. And you can't judge why they didn't pass over because it's not none of your business. It's just officially none of your business. So, and I get it. I don't want to be a part of their business. If it's their personal business, it's their personal business. I try to stay in my own lane. I learned that from my first boss. And then I ended up getting moved to another unit and I got another boss. And I don't like my new boss sometimes. So now it's just like I've had so many different little bosses that I've been there for so many years. I just literally tell them what I'm doing and I don't like to talk to anybody because all the people I like I said, are leaving. And I don't know. I'm just very sad and I gotta get used to new people and I don't like it. I'm glad I have a job. I don't have to socialize if I'm busy. And I like to keep busy because the person that's busy is not being caught up in psychodrama. I do not encourage workplace relationships unless you want a divorce. I mean, and if you do find someone in your workplace, get another job because it's a lot on a relationship if you have the same job. I would not work with my husband. That's oh man. That's profound. It is, isn't it? I'd like to have deep thoughts. Writers have deep thoughts. I always have some kind of deep thoughts. I honestly want the world to be a better place because when I die, I would like to know that the little doggies in the world and my kids are okay. This is why I would like the world to be a better place. But I think that's a goal that every human being wants. Honestly, I would think. Because if you care about anything on the earth before you leave the earth, you would want to die knowing that the people you loved and cared about have a chance to survive life. That's why you should never be mean to someone that you know is horrible, but you know their parents. Because that could be you one day. Because everybody goes down a hole. Everybody. They go down and it's always one part of your life where you're gonna fall down and you gotta figure out how you're getting back up. And I'm not saying physically. You're not falling down a hole physically. It's metaphorically. It's just you emotionally fall in a hole and you gotta find out who you are and find yourself again. And it happens in every lifetime and every life you spend. It's something that never ends. So sometimes, at least you know when things do happen to you, someone's paying attention to you. Generally, they're not living. If you just have weird circumstances and you just have unusual good luck, generally it's someone that's not alive that likes you, that probably is related to you, and maybe they were close to you enough to where they want to make sure that you're okay before they move on. And they can do this for years. They can do it for months, but I mean, it's not hurting the universe if they stick around for 50 years looking at somebody and helping them. Because that's generally it's somebody that they're blood related to. And the universe don't have restrictions on this. Some people take a long time to learn their lesson. Some people like the ride. So it makes us all different in in our own way. And I feel this. I mean, my mind and I have been enlightened many times to life, and these are just conclusions that I have come up with in life. And I've had a lot of happy times doing it. Did I have a lot of money? No, but I had happy times. But I've taken care of a lot of rich people, and every rich person I had said that health is more important than money. So I've always had good health except for crazy stuff, but I always heal quick, so maybe I have the best luck. Because in the end, if you get cancer sometimes and you don't get over it, that's what you were meant to die from. And if you die in your sleep from, I don't know, something like that, then okay then. They always make things comfortable. You can go on hospice. There's a lot of things you can go on. It really is. There's a lot of facets you can go to. There's just a lot of things. But the important is to find your purpose. For finding your purpose, sometimes you got to find that alone. And I think we always think that it has to be with a living, breathing person, but sometimes it's just you. I mean, sometimes it's just a journey you gotta go on by yourself to find the person that you're meant to be with forever. And it's very true. I'm living proof for this. I mean, I went through a lot by myself. I had, two others before him, but I mean, it's okay. I was meant to meet them and meant to break up with them for a reason, and I'm actually okay with it. I'm not bitter. I'm okay with it because I feel it benefited my life to learn that lesson, and I got the kid I was supposed to get. Sometimes that is the lesson. Sometimes you're given children at a certain age to learn compassion. Obviously, sometimes compassion is not learned when you're beating on your kids and doing horrible things that unfortunately happens in life sometimes. But you do have to fix your own cycle eventually. Everyone has to if you're in a negative one. And it always equals out and balances. That's what the universe does. It will balance itself. That's why you'll see storms. You'll see beautiful storms and then the beauty afterwards. There's immense destruction, but then at the end, the building of that event afterwards created something beautiful. Usually in times of war, after you come off a long war time, that's when you get the highest spark of peace. Because death reminds us that we're not so special. It's coming for us when it's coming for us, and if you fail, death comes early. If you didn't fail, death kind of gives you all kinds of good karma. It doesn't come for you, and you get healed. I mean, it's real simple. And you don't have to go to church for it. You just gotta give a crap about doing something good. You could be a tarot reader. You could be anything. You just gotta realize that that's what's gonna go on. And you can't sit there and expect a kind of life you weren't meant to lead. And to sit there and try to push something in your life that you weren't meant to have or go through just leads to heartache in your life, and it's about anything. Just like, I guess we'll make fun of my horrible singing because it is horrible. If I was to pursue a career in singing, I would have a lot of rejection, and if I sit there and say, oh, I'll improve, and I never do, sometimes you gotta face facts in your life. You're either good or you're bad, or this is good for me or it's bad for me. And generally, when you're making these decisions every day, what's good for me, what's bad for me, before you know, bam, Mr. and Mrs. Wonderful comes to your door. And you're like, wow, this is amazing. And then you're just looking at yourself and your dog and all that, and then you're like, oh, look at that. Or just sometimes it's just some accidental meeting. If you're so focused on one thing, when you're not going to get another. That's another thing too. But life is confusing about its cycles, but I mean, it's not hard to get through, but at the time it seems, because I've been through these cycles and they're horrific. And they seem like they're never ending, and they seem like they last forever. They really do. It seems like they just consume you, suck you into the abyss of a black hole, and somehow you get spit out. That's literally how sometimes it goes. But then it balances out. And then you're like, man, all that light came out of that black hole, and here I come. So, I guess the moral of this story, because I'm obsessed with black holes, I love them. I'm just so fascinated of the whole dynamic of them. I really am. But yeah, it's kind of like that. But it's getting to be like 8, and I gotta be up at 4:30 in the morning. But I'm gonna do 2 streams tomorrow also. I'm gonna keep up this momentum, and then eventually, probably in a half hour, so I'm gonna take my dog out again. I'm sure he'll have to pee. And hopefully there's not a million neighborhood dogs and all that out this time. And I thank everybody for their good conversation. And I will be on tomorrow for tarot readings and talking, and for my dog segment, the sad dog segment of of me trying to tame the beast. That's what we'll call the first stream. And you guys have a good day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.